On the line, Rockers, I'm honored to have Bill Leverty of Firehouse. Bill, thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Morgan. It's an honor to be here.
We were not only able to see your show on the Monsters of Rock cruise, but we were also able to have you guys back at this year's Halfway Jam. I was able to chat with you a bit after that, and you were nice enough to send me some of your solo material. I want to touch a little bit on your single, Bloom is Off the Rose, which, if I'm not mistaken, listeners can find on iTunes. Is that right?
Sure, it's on iTunes, it's on Amazon, it's on all those sites, and if you want to get it directly from me, you can go to my website, Leverty.com, and I'll send it to you with the artwork and the lyrics. So.
Okay. Bloom is Off the Rose. Bill, you gave me an awesome explanation of how you came up with that song. Give our listeners a rundown of that song quick, because once they hear it, they're going to know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, thank you. Well, I was watching the news, and they were talking about how there was an economic downturn and at the time, and also that some politicians seem to have this facade where they aren't exactly who they appeared or who they campaigned to be.
Yep.
And then later you find out the reality of them. And so I think it can be applied to not just politicians, but a lot of people that we know. Or that we have met in our lives.
Oh, yeah.
Who are those kinds of people.
Yep, they paint a really good cover, which is the bloom, but once that cover or bloom falls off, you see the true identity, and it can be pretty interesting to find out what those identities are once you finally dig deeper. So that song, like you say, can be applied in a lot of aspects, and that's one of the many reasons why I loved it. Again, single Bloom is Off the Rose can be found on iTunes. Again, on the line with Bill Leverty of Firehouse. Speaking of Firehouse, we'll be able to catch you at another show with you guys as you're going to be with us at Grand Rock Timber Grand Casino Hinckley, September 13th. This is your second year.
I love Hinckley. We love Minnesota anyway.
I do too.
We're really fortunate that Minnesota was with us from the very beginning and never, turned their backs on us or went elsewhere.
Never. Nope.
When the music business changed a lot, the Minnesota fans stuck with us the whole way and really helped us sustain a career. It's probably our number one state in the whole country. So, it's great. Looking forward to coming back. It's going to be a great gig.
Well, we had you at a couple of halfway jams. I caught your show last year at Grand Rock Timber Grand Casino Hinckley, and you were nice enough to join us for our 30th anniversary party. That was a while back at the Red Carpet nightclub, but that's just one of many nights that we'll never forget. You were nice enough to send me your entire cover album called Drive as well. I want to touch base on that quick. Drive, which can also be found on iTunes, if I'm not mistaken, consists of classic cover tunes of which were your favorite songs from back when you were young.
Yes, I always wanted to do a cover tunes record, and there are just a million cover tunes out there that I love. So I had to kind of narrow it down to what I really wanted to make the album about. And what the album is based on the parameters of, they had to be songs that I loved before I started playing guitar, which is when I was about 15.
Okay.
They had to be songs that hadn't been covered to death, so that eliminates a lot of the
Sure.
super great bands that I love.
It does.
I wanted to do some songs that were a little bit more obscure, but a lot of these were number one songs, but they just haven't been covered a whole lot.
Right.
And then lastly, they had to have been songs that still blow me away today, that I just love listening to today. So I narrowed it down to 10, and those are what I came up with on my album Drive. And yes, it is on iTunes if you want to get it.
Excellent.
Or you can get it on my website, and I'll be happy to sign it for you and send it to you.
Very nice. A few of those songs to name, just a couple. I Shot the Sheriff. You've got Ricky, Don't Lose That Number, and my all-time favorite, your version of CCR's Fortunate Son, which I'm going to roll for everyone shortly here. Want to ask quick, who did you have backing you up on this album?
On that album, I did all the instruments except for the drums and the bass. And on the drums, I have a guy named Andre LaBelle, who played with Josh from Buckcherry for a while, and he also played with Vinnie Vincent, who was in Kiss.
Yep.
And on the bass guitar, I have a guy named Keith Horn, who played with Peter Frampton, and he played with Hart, played with Trisha Yearwood.
Oh, wow.
A lot of country artists who are, when he was living in Nashville, he was a very sought-after bassist. And now he lives back here in Virginia. So I've known both those guys for 30 years, and we always wanted to record together, and finally we got around to doing it.
I gotta tell you, my all-time favorite, like I said, Fortunate Son, just the guitar riffs in that alone are just enough to, I've got your disc, I loaded it up for myself, shared it with a few people here at the Red House, and I still haven't gotten past that song. I just keep playing it over and over and over again. I absolutely love it.
Well, thank you. I wanted to make that one a little bit different. The original is such a classic, and I wanted to try to put my herbs and spices on this one, and I kind of made it as if I thought, how would the Scorpions cover that song if they were going to cover that song? So that's how I treated the guitars.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
And then I tried to sing it in my style as a vocalist, and that's what you get when you run it through that mishmash of influences.
Excellent. Again, folks, on the line, Bill Leverty of Firehouse, talking about his latest Drive, classic cover album, which can be found on iTunes. Head to his website, BillLeverty.com, encouraging everyone to head there and check it out. Let's touch on Firehouse quick. I know I mentioned earlier you're going to be joining us at Grand Rock Timber, Grand Casino Hinckley, September 13th. Firehouse latest Full Circle Rocked. Any new material coming out of Firehouse?
We're hoping to get to one this winter.
Excellent.
Winter is the time where our touring schedule slows down, and we can do some recording. This summer has been probably the busiest summer we've had in 10 years, and this fall we're going to be going overseas to England, and then we're going to head to Southeast Asia. Hopefully when we come back, we'll have some time off the road where we can do that. We never plan for time off the road, because if a gig or an opportunity comes in for us to play, we always try to take it, because that's what we love to do most.
Sure, that makes sense, but definitely keep us posted, because we want to be the first ones on that if, in fact, you do come out with some new material from Firehouse. Bill Leverty of Firehouse on the line. Your latest cover album of classic hits called Drive can be found on iTunes. Thank you so much for your time, and we are definitely looking forward to the show September 13th in Hinckley.
Thank you, Morgan. So are we. We'll see you there.